Oh, yeah, pictures. Okay. Now we'll do video.
Heading out to the East Coast this weekend. I know that's obviously a big, speaking of recruiting, a recruiting spot for you guys. How significant is it to try to get out there each year just to keep sure the brand is showcased out there?
Well, we do get out there with West Virginia every other year to the tying teams into West Virginia's was good. And then outside that, we just it's also an opportunity to bring people back here to Oklahoma. So it's not just for us to go out and be seen out there, which is an important part of it, but it's also to bring some quality teams. We had Lehigh here last year; it was a good dual meet, and for us to get a chance to wrestle Drexel and Lehigh on Friday and Saturday is a great way to start our season.
Well, and speaking of that, I know guys like Dakota and Piccinini. This is probably one of the biggest weekends they're most excited for because it gives an opportunity for their family to
Absolutely,
come watch.
and as well as a lot of OSU people are having a function out there with our alumni after the Drexel match. So that's kind of a neat experience for us all, and so I think that it does a lot for us to go out there, but more importantly, it's the way you compete too. If you're not competing well, it doesn't do you much good. So we need to compete well, and we have a lot of people that will be following us out there.
Speaking of Lehigh, they're a top 10 team in the rankings. Is this one of the best teams that you've seen from that program in a while?
They've been good, and they're pretty much routine good. They've had a strong program over their history, and it'll be a tough dual meet. I'm not even looking at it. It looks to be very competitive, and for us, it's going to be about winning 6 matches. I think that's going to be. You hear me say that a lot this year. Winning 6 matches for us can be tough.
How well did the OCU Open help you as far as solidifying, the 10 wrestlers you'll put out there on the map?
It did. It did a lot for me, and it gave me a look at all of our guys. It's pretty nice that you can just, load up on Saturday morning and drive down and put 30-something athletes in a tournament and get 4 or 5 matches, Even if they're maybe not the toughest of matches, just getting matches in. I mean, it's a big event, and we should all be supporting that because it's just a convenience, the cost of it, and the experience for our guys at the beginning of the season. But I did see some things I really liked. I liked that our 65-pounder, how he started a couple of the freshmen, Woodlake, which at 65, I was real impressed with him. He scored the most takedowns of anyone on our team as a freshman in the tournament. And then it kind of helped me with Woodcraft. We're kind of in a pinch at 33, and shouldn't I? And I think this is an opportunity for him to grow up. We need to see him grow up, do some things mentally in matches that maybe he's been allowed to do for maybe too long a period of time. And so for that reason, I just really feel like it's a good opportunity for him to learn hard way. And he looked good this weekend. Looked like he grew up a lot, and so we will be taking him out to Drexel and Lehigh as a true freshman.
With Whitlake, when we talked to him last week, it was kind of expected that he was going to wrestle up a weight than what he did at OCU. Was that last second, or is 65 kind of where you're expecting him to slot in?
Yeah, I think that's where he's going to be. We there's going to be some kind of sliding some guys around, in our dual meets until we can get people solidified and know where we want to be at. But I think with Travis is our 65-pounder. He's settled in there pretty good and feels pretty comfortable. And as a freshman, needs to learn a few things, as we go along here. But it was a good start for him last weekend.
Feller and Joe and Putnam, they didn't wrestle this weekend. Do you anticipate us seeing them at all?
I hope so. There's some things that you got to get in line, things you need to do before you wrestle. And one of them's school. You know, sometimes we need to be reminded why we're here. And but I think we'll probably end up not taking Putman, but taking Harris. Harris, our heavyweight, wrestled one match, and we pulled him out because he had a little ding to an injury that you know, we knew that he could recover from. So we just pulled him out just for safety purposes. In the past, I probably wouldn't have done that because we were deep enough. We're just not deep enough right now. G. Feller and Joe will most likely be traveling with us tomorrow for both those matches. Whether we get them in the lineup, I don't know.
Kaufman wrestled down at the OCU, looked pretty good, but you know, what's the plan with him in that weight for this weekend?
Well, he's suspended right now from this weekend. And for some actions that he did. And maybe we'll see him next week when we get back, you know, so needs to grow up and take care of business, and he did pretty good at the tournament. Wrestled a teammate, Bear Hughes, in the finals, but he'll be staying back because of some rules he broke.
Assuming Bear will be filling in then, or will
No.
go this weekend?
No.
Do you have a plan for that weight?
Kid, how about you? Yeah, we have a plan. I just don't know it yet. You know, we'll take both Gear and Montalvo. You know, and more than likely one of those guys will be wrestling 97. Just kind of position we're in. It is what it is, you know. Gear wrestled 97 quite a bit last year, if you
Right.
remember. Yeah.
Right. What did you see from Sheets getting back out there?
Just a little slow start. Nothing, you know, that's concerning. Just a typical slow start to your season. So just kind of figuring out how you want to wrestle and how hard you want to push. And I think he a little bit hesitant on what he was doing. Didn't seem like his timing was very good. But you know, I would say for the most part, I was expecting that from a majority of them. You know, it's just hard to hit your timing when you haven't competed for 6 months. So nothing that I'm concerned about. The one thing I did like is I thought our conditioning level looked pretty good, as good as I've seen it this early. Really strong, finishing matches hard, outscoring our opponents in the third. Those are things you like to see, and definitely we saw it this weekend. So, you know, getting on a rhythm and getting your rhythm going, that just takes some matches and some time.